What is up, Impact Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Anthem of Impact Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Jason, and today we're going over the latest episode of Impact Wrestling, where in the main event we saw Johnny Impact take on Low-Ki for the number one contendership to face Eli Drake for that global championship. Just some overall thoughts. I thought the show was really good. Now I'll say this: I didn't watch it live. I was watching. Living up in Missouri, I don't get a whole lot of chances to watch the Houston Texans play football. They're not on national TV a whole lot, and I'm not gonna pay for NFL Sunday ticket just to watch Texans. That's a lot of money a month to watch like one game. So took the advantage, watched that. So then, whenever I got home Friday after work, yesterday afternoon, I put it on, watched it, because I DVR it. I always DVR it. Even if I watch it live, I'm DVRing it. Just to have it. I can always kind of go back and rewatch it if I want. So sometimes that changes how you look at it, because I'm fast forwarding through commercials. It's kind of just a different setting whenever you're watching it. So for me, in my experience, I thought it was actually a really well done show. It seemed to move fast, well paced, furthered a lot of characters and a lot of stories. They did a really good job of those. One thing I've kind of noticed is, like, I'm not going to, because everything seemed legit, but at the same time, one thing that kind of stuck out to me out of nowhere, and again, I'm trying to be very careful with this, because I don't want to come out and say, like, oh, what's going on with Jeff Jarrett isn't real, because I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But there's a little bit of me, because it just happens to be dealing with wrestling. A couple things stuck out to me this week, and thinking about even like last week's episode, that's kind of sticking out to me. Now, they released that Jeff is just taking a leave of absence, but he's staying on as a consultant role for the time being, to take care of personal issues, right? Jeff himself has never really, at least I haven't seen it. If somebody does, maybe like give me a link to the tweet or whatever. I know Karen has mentioned it, but I don't think Jeff has really. And since then, Jeff is still tweeting like normal, as far as he's doing my morning cardio Instagram picture, whatever else. But we had an actual real ugly situation involving Alberto El Patron, and they didn't edit him out. They didn't do any kind of reshuffling of anything. Now we have Jeff Jarrett, his situation, where it's kind of vague on what's going on, and they've taken him out of everything. Like, he's no longer in the opening credits, if you want to call it that opening sequence. Video package. He no longer confronts America's Top Team. He hasn't been brought up outside of the Triple Mania thing. He hasn't been brought up. Now it's Jim Cornette going after America's Top Team, and dealing with the Bobby Lashley story. This was all taped before Jeff made his announcement of or Impact made the announcement of Jeff stepping down for just taking a leave of absence for the time being. So it makes me wonder if this isn't part of a story. Again, it's just something that I want to play devil's advocate with and bring up. It's something that just kind of, really kind of stuck out to me while watching this episode out of nowhere. It just kind of hit me like in the middle of watching. I'm like, wait a minute, you know what? That is true. Because then, like Scott D'Amore started seeing them like whenever like they first walk in. It would be like Scott D'Amore. It would be Raphael Morphy. It would be, I think I just butchered his name. I'm sorry if I did. And then this last one was what's his name? He took over for like Don West at one point for like all the Shop TNA stuff, like Jason James or something like that. This week it was him that was there at the very beginning, and then who they kind of like bullied and roughed up for a minute. So it just kind of was weird to me. Like, okay, Jeff is just supposedly stepping down, taking a leave of absence, taking care of some personal issues. And I understand his role is a lot minor as far as on TV, but I highly doubt that they went back and reshot all these things to add in Jim Cornette or to add in this or that. So that's the only reason why. Let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments down below. And just let me think, if you guys think I'm like way off base, cool. Call me out on it. If you kind of agree with me or if you think I'm bringing up a good point, let me know. I'm just kind of interested to see if anybody else has picked up on this. Because Jeff has always been somebody. He doesn't care if it's his dirty laundry or if it's others. He's always been that kind of guy that thinks it should be integrated into a story. And that's one thing I've always really liked about Jeff's booking and his creative thoughts is he does get reality into it. And in a time of the informational highway that we call the internet, to kind of blur lines again makes things interesting, to go reality, to be able to put your personal feelings aside to bring out something real for the craft of professional wrestling is something that I really respect, because I don't think I could ever really do that. Because I'm a fairly private person, even though I'm right here on YouTube. But I really respect and I enjoy it. I enjoy watching these stories develop and unfold in front of my eyes, and really something that you can sink your teeth into as a viewer and buy into. So that's one reason why I bring it up is, like I said, Jeff kind of has that type of history of doing the real life stories and stuff like that. But yeah, so that was just something that kind of picked up. But like I said, overall, I thought the matches were really good. The stories were good. I never felt like anybody was getting buried. Yeah, I just thought it was really good. It was different. It felt like a different show. As far as, what else on everything else you see out there. It felt like a different wrestling program. It didn't feel like WWE. It didn't feel like Ring of Honor. It didn't feel like Lucha Underground. It didn't feel like New Japan. It felt like Impact Wrestling. It felt like Global Force Wrestling. So for that, I definitely enjoyed. But enough rambling. Let's get into the show. So like I said earlier, it starts off, they do a couple different packages, but then they show American Top Team coming in. Of course, Jason James is there trying to shake hands. They're like, nah. They're totally playing up that whole like MMA people are douchebags. Very well. They're doing a really good job of it. I actually like it. They're almost bordering though, especially like towards the end. Or not towards the end, the middle where they're beating up on Richard Justice. They're almost bordering on the, it's almost so good it's comical of being bullies. Like they're that typical bully group that's in every weird teen movie. That's like, yeah, give him a wedgie, man, awesome, yeah. Like on Do Where's My Car, the extreme guys. Oh, we're eating these Doritos, they're extreme. They're almost there. Like they're kind of teetering on it. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's really good. Seems like Bobby's having kind of fun doing it, having some of his buddies around doing it. Then we go straight to the ring. Again, I've said this many a times. I love it whenever Impact starts off right off the bat with the match, because it shows, hey, it's 2 hours of Impact wrestling. But we get to Braxton Sutter versus Garza Jr. Of course, they're fighting because Garza Jr. wanted to check on Allie, and Braxton had a problem with that. This match was amazing. I thought this match was really good. These two worked very well together. Had some very good chemistry. I, you know, I do think this is Braxton Sutter's best match he's had in Impact because it showed how fast he does move in the ring. Some of the other X Division matches that he's had, I've always felt like he was always kind of like a. It seemed like he was a step behind some of these other people. And Garza's a fast worker, but he was right there with him, and it was really good. They told a good story throughout. Eventually, whenever it started getting picked up, whenever Garza Jr. Was kind of like flirtatious with Allie again, then you had the Allie got in the way, didn't get in the way, all that miscommunication stuff. So they're definitely developing good character and really giving you what the new character of Braxton Sutter is, what his story arc is. And look, I think so far it's been pretty good. But then Garza Jr. gets one, and that's a good singles win for Garza Jr. And of course, the win also then allows the story to keep going with probably those two, but also with Allie and Sutter. After the match, Sutter gets really mad, frustrated, starts yelling at Allie. Allie's obviously very upset, and he tries to pull her, like, "Hey, let's go," and she doesn't want to go. And of course, he's apologizing and all this stuff, and then finally, Allie wasn't really having it, but she reluctantly was like, I'm still giving you the dirty eye, but yeah, okay, we can leave. The next match, we get EC3 versus Phantasma for the Grand Championship. This was another really good match. Again, the only problem that I have with this Grand Championship stuff, the 3 rounds, is it's formulaic. It's repetitive. It's almost too obvious anymore. Someone's going to win the first, that other person's going to win the second. And then the third, the finish might be tricky. I would like more of these matches to end in the first round. Somebody wins in the first round. Somebody pins, or in the second round. Somebody submits. Somebody, gets pinned. They've almost gone away from even pin attempts. I don't remember too many pin attempts in this match, like in the first or second round. Maybe once in each round. But even try to think back to the last, I don't know, really, since Moose has had it, since Moose has had the Grand Championship, I don't know how many pin attempts even happen in the first 2 rounds. I don't think any. But that needs to change. They should still fight the match like it's a real match. Not always get... if I'm a competitor, I don't want it to go to the judges. I want it to end because I put this guy away. So it's just kind of... That's the only problem with the match. It has nothing to do with what these two guys did actually in the ring. They put on a very good match. It's just the whole concept and the rules that they have to work around that just doesn't sit well with me. And I thought by putting this title on EC3, that was a perfect segue, especially since they were bringing in all new belts. That very next week, they were, kind of basically giving us the full rebranding that very next week. There was your opportunity for EC3 to be the heel that says, I have this title and I'm refusing to wrestle a match in this stupid type of form and turn the Grand Championship into something better. You can still call it the Grand Championship, just now your Grand Champion is more like a TV champion. He has to wrestle every TV. I think especially whenever you're dealing with a bunch of younger talent, a lot more unknown talent, having a TV belt, you don't even, like I said, you don't even have to even call it a TV belt, but having a TV style belt where it's being defended every TV, every pay-per-view, it's really important because now what you can do is you can take these guys with no name and you're putting them on TV every day or every week. You're getting their name built. You're getting their reputation built, and you're doing it without seeming like here's our guy, here's our guy. No, it's because he has the belt, and that's the rule. So he has to be on TV every week. So then it keeps people away from saying like screw this guy because they're just trying to jam him down our throats, like how people think about like with Roman Reigns and stuff. Um, you wouldn't have that if you had a TV belt. Plus, like I said, it gets these younger guys with no name, these indie guys, some actual name recognition, a little bit of a reputation. So that's kind of what I was hoping that they would have done, but they didn't. But I thought this match, like I said, was really good. Round 1 goes to EC3. I think he won that round pretty easily. Pretty much dominated the whole thing. Did a lot of crazy moves. To Phantasma, looked really good. These two guys are another two guys that they looked at some pretty good chemistry. There's the word. Some pretty good chemistry. In round 2, it goes to Phantasma. Again, like I said, it's very formulaic. But I thought this was a little more even match, but Phantasma kind of ended the round with a little bit more momentum. Got him in that kind of surfboard right at the very end. Round 3 then does go to EC3 in a split decision. Now, the judges were the usual judges of Scott D'Amore and Dutch Mantel, but since there is no more Bruce Pritchard, did they put Jim Cornette down there? No. They brought in an Impact, I'm not going to say original, but he's been around for a while, and now he's in AAA, at least according to the storyline. I don't know if he actually is or not, but a luchador legend himself, Hector Guerrero. And Hector came down to his final vote, and he voted EC3 for the win. This did not sit well with old Phantasma. So he went down there and started confronting Hector and getting in his face, and Hector was saying something else back to him. Phantasma went back into the ring, started yelling at EC3, but all that was a distraction because the debut of Pagano happened. And he came in and attacked EC3 from behind. They started beating up on, they gave each other a handshake like, yes, we are friends. Yes. AAA friends. And they start beating up EC3. That brought down Eddie Edwards, because you know Eddie. He ain't having it. He's Global Force. He's Impact. He's American. He ain't having none of this. So he came out and saved EC3. Of course, EC3 is like, oh, you just came down to save me because you want this title, right? You want this title. And then, of course, just kind of left without really thanking Eddie at all. So that'll be interesting to kind of see where that goes. Then we go to a video package of LAX. I thought this was actually done really well. This is kind of more of like what Impact needs to do. For a while there, they were kind of TV-14, and then they went back to PG. Even though really with LAX, it's not very PG, like with anything that they've done. And this one definitely wasn't either. They meet up with Homicide in Tijuana at the way it seemed like a strip club that he owns or like is like running or something. So then they go in, they're with a bunch of girls and drinking and having fun and doing this and that, talking about how OVE doesn't know what they're stepping into. They own the refs, they own the ring, they own the all this stuff. They're gonna run it. They have no chance. Then we go to the actual match of OVE versus LAX, but Conan threw a little surprise in there. It is now a 4-way match for those tag titles. I didn't quite catch who the other two were because the other two teams were just like this person and this person, this person and this person, and they did it like really fast because it was. I love these little trinkets of, hey, remember all that Matt Hardy stuff, all that broken stuff that everybody thinks Broken Matt all did by himself or Billy Corgan did? No, it was Jeremy Borash, and he's still here, which is why we can still do it. And, this was done just like that Expedition of Gold stuff that they were doing. it was done in a independent film, um, documentary uh, style of filming. Um, and then of course it was like nothing but highlights, had the music going. They just kind of showed random moves, replays in slow motion. It was really cool. Um, but at the same time, like I kind of really wish we could have just gotten the match because it looked like this match was really good. Um, so it would have been cool to see like the actual just full blown match. But again, like I said, I kind of like how whenever they throw those little bits out, like, hey, look, Impact Wrestling did a lot, and the people that still work in Impact Wrestling did a lot to make that broken gimmick successful. We own it. Sorry about your damn luck. But LAX ended up getting the win. The whole thing was really cool storytelling because then even after the match, it seemed like maybe like after like the whole night, OVE approached Conan and LAX, probably looking to be like, hey, this is bullshit. We wanted our own titles. You chickened out, kind of thing. But you know, Conan's like, listen, boys, this ain't Ohio. This ain't those Ohio trailer parks. You're in Tijuana. Better get to stepping, or you'll get to missing. You know, or we'll make you missing, or whatever he said. And the rest, like the Crash promotion, starts, you know, kind of like circling around them. They leave, but as they're leaving, you know, the Chris brothers were talking. One's like, because I still haven't gotten them straight yet. I'm sorry. One of them was like, you know, we're not leaving Tijuana without those titles. And then the other one was like, hey, we could always meet them up at their club. So I'm guessing maybe they go back to that strip club or they go to their clubhouse or something that we always see them, playing with pliers and stuff. Maybe we'll get to that and they'll attack them or something and get another shot or something like that. No, but I really like this. This is the first time I'm really seeing some good character work from OVE. And I'm liking it so far. So let's hope this keeps going and this like develops to be a good story, not just like a good couple matches and then then OVE gets the belts and then LAX is just kind of like gone and forgotten for a minute. But we'll see. I like what they're doing right now. Then we get probably the match of the night: Grado versus William Weeks. Sorry, just kidding. It was his farewell match. It was definitely a squash. Killed him. Grado won. Grado's out there saying thank you and how much he loves everybody, but he's got to go. And out comes Joseph Park, and he says, no, my friend, I have a surprise for you. In fact, I have a surprise for everyone. Earlier today, Park opened their own sport agency, and he's going to make Grado his first client, and he's going to co-sponsor his work visa, and now he will be able to stay in the U.S. And of course they celebrate and they're having fun. Yay, great. I don't know where this is going. I was totally expecting Laurel Van Ness to come out and be all upset about it or whatever. But it's just weird. I don't know if Joseph Park meant for it to come off like this, but Joseph Park, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading way too much into it. It came off almost like there's an ulterior motive behind it. I don't know. Be very interesting. I could be playing way too much into it because it's probably just nothing more than a comedic story, and I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I'm reaching because I want to see Abyss back. So I'm like reaching for like, is it Abyss? Is Abyss and Laurel Van Ness now going to be the new it couple, and they're going to be the crazies, and then they go after, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. I hope so. That'd be awesome. But that's just where my creative mind goes, So maybe I'm just reading too much into it. But, typical, kind of funny. Those two are always, like, great together, Joseph Park and Grado. But then we go to Jim Cornette's office, and Lashley and America Top Team come in, and Lashley's like, hey, I came here to tell you I'm done. Gonna go to MMA. and I want my unconditional release. Of course, Cornette, was kind of pissed, but I understand. Finally says, fine, I'll give it to you, but you have to do me one thing. America Top Team, you got to get the hell out of here. And Lashley, you have to have one last confrontation and deal with Moose. Moose wants to see you in that ring tonight, and you have to go out there and finish it. I don't care how you guys finish it, but you got to finish it once and for all. So he agrees and all that. Then we go to the X Division title match, Falls Count Anywhere. Trevor Lee versus Sanjay Dutt. Again, good, fun, physical match. Good storytelling. These two, Sanjay Dutt and Trevor Lee, every match they've had, I personally have thought that it was good and very entertaining. These two work well together. The thing I really like, and they even did this in those live events up in New York, the way both men act and talk about and covet that X Division title makes it seem so important, and it brings back that importance and the relevancy, that it once had. The way guys fought for it, like P.D. Williams and AJ and Low-Key and Jerry Lynn and Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian, that X Division title meant everything to those guys. And the way these two have been going at it is kind of bringing that back. They're both willing to do anything and go through anything to keep that title or to get that title. And I just think they've been doing a great job. And I don't know. I'm really enjoying this feud a lot more than what I thought I was going to. But then they go all around, they go outside, and that was a bad move on Sanjay Dutt's part, because who was waiting but Caleb Conley. Did that really cool. He was gonna go for a trash can. There was a water bottle there, so he slapped it, went right into the TV screen. It was so cool. Too bad I didn't have 3D on or something, right? God, that'd been awesome. Whoa, water bottle. All right. Of course, they bust open Sanjay Dutt and double team him a little bit. Trevor Lee gets a roll-up pin and gets leverage by holding on to a pole that was out there. And your new X Division champion is the technical savage, Trevor Lee. It's really cool match, really good. I enjoyed it. Can't wait to see where they keep going with this. Like to see some more. The one thing that the X Division is not doing very well of right now, which they haven't in a very long time. They've done a good job of getting a good story and character development around the people that are directly involved with the title. You need those secondary, at least one secondary X Division story to go. Now, they had that with the X Cup, but since then it's dropped, right? Have we even seen Desmond Xavier wrestle since then? I don't think so. So, those are the things that and I know it's 2-hour show. It's hard to get it all in, but that's just something that I think need to start kind of focusing on, is getting that kind of going again, where they have at least one more secondary X Division storyline to kind of make that that next competitor relevant, instead of just all of a sudden he shows up and he's getting a title shot, right? All right, so after that we get another squash match with the in-ring debut of Taya Valkyrie versus Amber Nova. It was total squash. I mean, this match was nothing. I can't really say much about that, except for I will take this time to talk about some things I saw on Twitter of people attacking Taya about stealing, and I think even one of them was actual Eva Marie. Eva Marie has no business telling anybody anything about how they look, what gimmicks they fucking ripped off, or how good they are in the ring. She had no business ever being in the professional wrestling business. Period. And there's a reason why she's out. There's a reason why nobody ever wanted to work with her. She was terrible. Terrible. She never wanted to be in the wrestling business. She wanted to be a star. That's all she wanted to be. So, so Global Force fans, Impact fans, I saw some of them, standing up for Taya, and Taya wasn't having it. She was fucking being like Sienna, being a savage, and throwing it right back at him. Like some of the like she stole her look from Alexa, from Charlotte, from come on, oh, from Candice Michelle. Like, yeah, because I'm sure Taya, who was trained by Lance Storm, and who is one of the best luchadoras currently, killing it on Lucha Underground, killing it in AAA, now about to kill it in Global Force. I'm sure one of the people she really admired growing up and watching wrestling was Candice fucking Michelle. Give me a break. She looks nothing like Alexa Bliss. She comes out looking like she's like a Game of Thrones queen. Who is she ripping off? What music is she ripping off from somebody? What entrance is she ripping off? I don't know. I haven't figured that one out at all. But yet Sienna, who legit has a gripe with the way Charlotte all of a sudden, week after week, is transforming herself to look like. Charlotte is legit trying to look like Sienna. Sienna makes just one little thing about the whole pinkies thing, because now that's Charlotte's new thing is pinkies. Pinkies up, right? Because they were doing the stupid T thing. Well, Sienna has been doing the pinkies up, period, classy shit for a long time. But people want to jump on her for saying, oh, that's bullshit. I can't believe she's going after Charlotte. That's not blah, blah, blah. But then people are going after Taya, and nobody wants to say anything. Couple Impact fans have. I'm going to say something. I'm using my YouTube show to say something. So, there's my little rant on that. But, Taya, keep doing you. You're kicking ass. Then we get the main event match of the night, which is for the number one contendership, Low-Ki versus Johnny Impact. I guess in 2 weeks we'll have Victory Road, and that's where that match against Eli Drake will take place. This match, again, was really good. Super intense, told a great story. I love how intense Low-Ki is, especially here lately. Super intense with that promo. This isn't WWE, this ain't Lucha Underground, this is GFW. Getting right in the face. I mean, he didn't even need a mic in that promo. Just the way he comes and attacks people, just looks super stiff, super, just real rough. And Johnny is such a good seller and such a good wrestler that those two things just combine together to make just great TV and a great match. Again, both guys I felt looked really strong in this match. Such a good back and forth. Both guys got in a lot of different moves. It's just insane. The ending to the match was, to me, a little abrupt. And it just, it worries me a little bit. I hope Low-Ki's okay. And that's why, hopefully that was, the ending that was supposed to happen. Because even the split leg springboard that Morrison did for the win, that even kind of seemed rush. And then we never really saw Low-Ki after, if he was hurt, if refs came up, if he was limping. So I didn't really saw any of that, the continuation of the sell. But just the way he fell, because I can't remember the spot. He was trying to do a Warrior's Way, but then caught his leg on the top rope. I think it was. I don't know. It was kind of weird. So I'm not really sure how that all went down. Obviously, we haven't heard anything outside of the tapings that he was hurt or anything. So I don't know. But again, I'm not saying that Low-Ki isn't there. I know his contract was up. I know all that. But I feel like the reasoning behind why the reports are saying why he was asking for his release, or was saying that he wants to be done with the company, that he wasn't, I know he didn't get the title. They haven't taken him away from the actual title picture yet, though. And he didn't look weak at all against Johnny Impact. So And he even went out there and killed it without LAX there. So, again, I don't see where all this story's coming from that he was pissed that he, if he's still pissed that he actually didn't win the title, okay, I get that. But, it's the proof is right here on our TV screen every week compared to the reports that were initially coming out from the dirt sheets about Low-Ki leaving Global Force Wrestling. I just don't. He doesn't look checked out. He's still being super intense, and he's still in the title picture. He's not maybe not winning the title, but he's in the title picture. And as long as you stay in the title picture and you keep proving what you can do, you'll get the title. They chose to go with Eli Drake because they just wanted to change kind of the top of what they were doing. And I get that. So, I don't know. Just as me as a fan, from what I'm seeing, I still don't quite get the whole story of Low-Ki being unhappy because, he wasn't at the top of the card. Yeah, he is. So, after the match, Eli Drake comes out, is kind of taunting Johnny Impact. Again, that was just a distraction. Chris Adonis comes back from behind. They start beating up and attacking Johnny Impact. And then, of course, we go to commercial, and that's done. We come back. Lashley's in the ring, tells everybody that he is quitting. But you know what? He's got to deal with Moose, so Moose come on out. Moose comes out looking all, he's doing his air guitar to, his weird hip-hop music, and then doing his Moose stuff. He comes in the ring, and boom! Kind of just cheap shots. Lashley, kind of catching him off guard. They start brawling all over the Impact Zone. This was actually done really well. I thought that was pretty cool. And then, of course, they get back in the ring. Moose is still having the upper hand. He's kind of waiting for Lashley to get up as he's kind of standing there waiting. America's Top Team rushes into the ring. They all start attacking Moose. Then they leave Moose laying, and Impact goes off the air. So, and again, I just think it was a good show. I felt entertained. To be honest with you, it's pretty much GFW is becoming again pretty much the only wrestling show I'm watching every week. And it's not just because of this. I mean, I could literally just stop reviewing it, and I could carry it wouldn't matter if I just stopped reviewing it on YouTube. I just do this for fun, for me to talk wrestling, for me to get my ideas out there, and possibly talk wrestling with with the rest of you fans out there. So I watch GFW, and it's because I like it. It's because every week they give me something to be entertained by. I never feel like the creative direction in their shows, at least here lately, have ever felt like, man, this is so dumb. Why are they doing this? And there was a lot of times before where I was like that. During that Hogan era, really bad. And then they had things like Aces and Eights where it was like, man, this could be really good. This could be really good and interesting. And then it was, oh, we're supposed to take a group serious that has D'Lo Brown in it and Garrett Bischoff. Yeah, I kind of dropped the ball on that one. There's just these little different things. But here lately, they've been killing it. And I've not sat here and gone, man, I don't like where this is going. Or, man, it'd be better is if they would have done this instead. And I haven't really done that quite yet. There's some things, like the Grand Championship, just the rules of that I don't necessarily like. And some of these other things. But overall, no, I'm not hating it. So that's my review. I guess I'll give my quick thoughts here real quick on this Bound for Glory stuff.